I'm back. At least I'm pretty sure I am. You kind of forget what the studio looks like after being trapped in Shreen's base. Dungeon for over a month. Anyways, I challenged Shreen to a Polytopia game, and I said, if I win, you give me the channel back, but if you win, you can keep it, and I won't try to take it back. And he agreed because he needed to put a video out. However, since he had more at stake in his worst at Polytopia, I knew not to expect a fair fight. Also, quick side note, since this is an online match, there was a bit of a wait between turns, and as a result I forgot to record a few of them, and sometimes the recording would start late. Also, I didn't record a few early turns because, come on, it's the early game, you're not missing anything. Just like right there, actually. And all that really happened was that I got some roads in a new city. However, here I had to make a tough decision between the village and the ruins. In general, it's better to go for ruins first because they will help you immediately, whereas villages are investments. But in this case, I would have to get climbing, and since I'm in Zabasi terrain, hope that they don't get to the village before me. It was a tough call, but I eventually decided on the ruins. Unfortunately, Zabasi, aka Gunis, got to the village first, ruining my early game plans. However, I wasn't expecting him to do this. Apparently, Gunis was on my side here, and it's a good thing he was too, because I probably would have lost without him. Encountering him gave me just enough stars to push my early game nearly a full turn ahead, and that development would win me the race to the coast, allowing me to rule the road, not to mention how Gunis would hold off Sreen in the north. We're also skipping turns 8 and 9 because nothing really happened. On turn 10, I made a mistake by developing the large city instead of growing the small one first and getting resources, but I found the end of the island unimpeded, so I was safe for the time being. I then quickly fixed my mistake, roaded the new village, and got my first giant. I also noticed that Gunis was somehow already losing a war, so I started moving in to help. He lost the city, so on the next turn I retook it from... Wait, that's not Sreen. That's right. Apparently, Sreen had another goon, Commandus. You may recognize him from the comment sections of some of my videos. Unfortunately, that meant I had another opponent to beat before Sreen, but Gunis somehow already had knights, so it wouldn't be so bad. Also, second giant.
Okay, y'all, 1,000 words in 2 minutes. Let's do this. Yo. In a couple minutes, I'm gonna have to kill it all the haters and just sit up on the web, they will say they don't feel it, but I'm never gonna listen to this idiot. Dumb as fuck. I punch him and I kick him and I hit him with an uppercut. They told me that I got a record that I gotta bring. Get your woman naked in the garden, shit with tongues. They got the whole lungs up in the air, but you tell I hyperventilated. That's worth 120 seconds.
On turn 14, Commandus' Polytar pieced out and a scary swordsman appeared, which I quickly battered to death. But since it refused to die, I trained a catapult and moved another rider in. Then I attacked this dude, roaded, and attacked this other dude so Gunis could take the city. Ah, there's Sreen, and there's border growth. Here I decided to do population growth because I'll do border growth on the one over, and hey, look at that, another giant. Next turn I killed the swordsman, and wowie, another giant! Then I spent the next few seconds contemplating my hopeless existence, and also whether I should get strategy to get closer to having cloaks, or navigation to advance my takeover of the seas. I chose navigation, and then I immediately picked up strategy the next turn because defender battleships are good. Does that mean I'm gonna actually use them? No, don't embarrass yourself. Oh heck, giant battleships everywhere. On turn 17, I continue my quest to put every giant on the square in a boat and ha! Okay, never mind, crest avoided. At this point, I felt my army was missing something, so I got another giant. This giant over here got smithery from some ruins, which isn't exactly what I was hoping for, but it was a welcome reward nonetheless. Meanwhile, my refusal to put giants on land was taking a toll on my land army. Shocker, I know. Hopefully that wouldn't cost me later.
12 seconds later.
Earlier when I said I wouldn't have won without Gunis, it's not actually because he did anything, it's just because he was a great meat shield. Things weren't looking good in the north, but I was hanging on, and Commandus was no match for my 200 billion giants in his home territory, and I still had a few more on the way. Not to mention that I finally got cloaks. Next, I for some reason didn't take this city, but that's okay, because I probably wouldn't have been able to defend my city otherwise. Meanwhile, Commandus was slowly dying, and new units were landing on his shores faster than he could stop them. Not to mention population growth and another giant, just closer to fighting this time. Skipping ahead a bit, and okay, no more skipping. Apparently the match only progresses when I don't record it. Gunis somehow got pushed or even further back, and that's okay, because I'm winning my attack. Then, for some reason, I didn't take this city, but that's okay, because it's the city next to the one I didn't take before. Hey look, cloaks! Next, my half-health giant died, so boop, and also full health giant. Then I bombarded this city, preparing to land next turn. Okay, now for the burning hellscape that's the north. I'm scared. Oh, never mind, that was surprisingly easy. Cloak time. Except for here is giant. Next, I finally win Commandus' capital, bombard this city's last defenses, and win the other city I kept forgetting. Then I bombard this other city I kept forgetting, train a cloak, and attack with my other cloak. After training a few more units, I can confidently say that we've reached a turning point. Unfortunately, I forgot to record turn 26, but all that really happened was that I won this city, and Sreen somehow snapped an entire army into existence, but only in these two cities. However, with most of Shreen's forces there, the North stood no chance against my sword and dagger army. I also used some ships and cloaks to pressure these cities. It wasn't enough to capture them, or to prepare landings next turn, but it tricked Shreen into thinking I was about to, and seeing how things were going, he began to lose hope. He pushed one final gambit on turn 29. If he won, he could potentially turn the whole game around, but if he lost, it was over. It didn't necessarily go poorly, but it wasn't enough to save him. He held on to what little hope he had left, but on turn 31, this happened. And this. And on turn 33, the first Imperious soldier entered the Barter homeland, and the last Barter soldier outside of the homeland was lost. So he surrendered. Well, on the condition that he could still make videos, which I gladly accepted. I mean, why wouldn't I? This means the channel would have less huge gaps between videos, and Shreen's insanity is almost always a plus. We also decided to rename the channel to Ready, Fire, Aim, and I'm going to be going by QJ from now on because nobody's just not going to work anymore. New music coming soon, and plenty of new videos are on the way too. Love from Texas. See ya. Alright, so, we forgot to decide on this stuff in the treaty, so we're just gonna decide now about, Gunas and Commandus. Let's just say Commandus, since he was on the bad guys team. I say bad guys, it's because they lost. He can be the receptionist. And also, unpaid intern. You know what, Gunas can just be a side character. He switched to my side, so I'm not gonna punish him. Anyways, bye-bye.